Welcome back to my channel. My name is Yezmin Thomas. I'm a financial coach and I'm here to help you simplify your finances, save money, and get out of debt. In today's video, we're going to go over Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps to win with money. I don't know if you've heard about Dave Ramsey. I came across Dave Ramsey for the first time about maybe 8 years ago. I was listening to the radio late at night and I heard this guy talking about people being in debt, and he was grilling this guy that had called in the radio show who was in a lot of debt. And when he started talking about people needing to pay off their debt and become debt free, I honestly thought that was some sort of phony radio infomercial and they were about to try to sell you something, and I quickly changed the channel. And then a couple days later, I turned on the radio again and the same voice is there telling people that they could live better debt free. Now, understand that I had never heard anyone promoting with such a passion living debt free. I was used to everything goes on payments, from your car to your house, vacation, credit cards are good. The more credit cards you have, the more better you are. I mean, I really thought that having access to credit was a way of winning in the United States. And really, we learned our lesson the hard way because we did life that way. You know, my husband and I, we got married, we had credit card debts, student loan debts, we financed 2 cars, we bought a house, and then the recession happened and he lost his job. And so we went from living with 2 nice incomes to 1 income that wasn't enough. You know, my income wasn't enough to sustain the lifestyle that we had on 2 incomes, you know. And then I realized that this whole thing about borrowing money to do life was not a good way of living, because that works when you don't have a scenario where you lose your job. You know, that may work for a while when you have money coming in, but it is not a sustainable way of doing life because you are dependent on that income to pay your debt, and that's a cycle that's repeating over and over. So when I listened to Dave Ramsey and he started talking about people getting out of debt and people building up savings accounts and people saving for retirement, it made sense. At the beginning, the ideas bounced off my head because here I was trying to make ends meet. My husband didn't have a job and we had more money going out than coming in. So to have somebody come and tell you that you need to pay off your debt and become debt free when you're in the hole is really difficult to really embrace. And that might be your case today. Maybe you do have a job, but you have a lot of bills and you have a lot of debt. And for me to tell you that you will be better by paying off your debt is an idea that's bouncing off your head. But I'm here to tell you, listen to me. Thanks to the fact that I kept listening to the Dave Ramsey show, I am doing this video today. I became a financial coach through Dave Ramsey Financial Coach Master Training because I believed so much on his principles, and those principles, once we put them in practice in our own life, really changed our entire picture. And 10 years later, our financial situation is way different. And if you're going through a hard time today, I'm here to tell you there's a lot of work to do, but your situation is temporary. You don't have to be in the hole your entire life. If you work towards paying your debts and getting your money under control, you will really transform the outlook of your life. So let's get into Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps. Baby step number 1 is to save a starter emergency fund of $1,000. You may be thinking $1,000 is a lot of money, or maybe it's not a lot of money. It depends on how much money you make. But statistically, most people in the United States, they don't have $1,000 put away for emergencies, regardless of income. There's people that make a lot of money and they spend a lot of money and they are broke and they don't have $1,000 put aside. And there's people that honestly don't make enough money and they really have a hard time saving up $1,000. But regardless of the income, your step number 1, your first baby step, is to start saving money. If you are not making a budget every single month, it's going to be really hard for you to save money. So make sure at the end of this video, you go back and watch this video, because that's going to teach you how to get control of your finances by having a monthly budget, okay? What you want to do then for your baby step number 1 is to save $1,000 in the bank, keep them safe for your starter emergency fund. Baby step number 2 is to pay off all your consumer debt. Everything from credit cards, student loans, personal loans, cell phone loans, whatever kind of loan that you have, any debt, any consumer debt, not including your house, okay? So baby step number 2 is to pay off all your debts except for your house. And the best method that I can recommend to you to pay off your debt is using the debt snowball. And what's the debt snowball? Well, I have written an entire article with detailed instructions on how the debt snowball works. So if you want more information on that topic, make sure to check the description box. You're gonna find a link to my blog post there. But basically what you're going to do, you're gonna make a list of all your debts. You're going to organize them from the smallest to the largest balance. The list is going to be done regardless of the interest rate on your debts. We are trying to get out of debt as fast as possible. Many people try to argue to pay off the highest interest rate first, but that's the wrong conversation to have. The conversation we need to be having is, what am I gonna do today to generate more money so that I can accelerate my debt snowball? So are you either going to reduce your expenses, sell stuff from your garage that's been collecting dust for 22 years? Maybe you are going to get a side hustle. I have a friend who makes over $1,500 a month driving for Uber 15 hours a week. So if you really want to get out of debt, there's many ways you can generate extra income to be able to accelerate your snowball, all right? So you're gonna make the list. All the debts that are not your house go in this list. And if you have a lot of debt, know that you're gonna be stuck on baby step 2 for a while, unless you're willing to start selling some of that stuff that's keeping you in debt. Make the list. You're gonna make minimum payments on everything, okay? Everything is gonna be paid, minimum payments. And to the smallest debt, you're going to put everything that you can scrape from your budget, every extra penny you can make, you're gonna put it towards paying that smallest debt, okay? Once the smallest debt is paid, all the extra money that was going towards paying it and the minimum payment that you were making there, you're gonna roll it over, the second debt. Once the second debt is paid, you keep doing all the minimum payments on everything else, you keep rolling that money to the third debt, okay? That's why it's called a snowball method. And I want you to do that to get out of debt, and hopefully you can do it in 2 years or less. If you're not able to get out of debt, if you do the math and you realize that it would be too hard for you to get out of debt within 2 years, the news I have for you might not be what you want to hear, but most likely you need to sell some of those things that keep you in debt. All right, so baby step number 1, we save $1,000 in the bank. Baby step number 2, we're paying down all our debts, all the consumer debt. In fact, if you have money in savings over $1,000, you should use that amount to put it towards your snowball. Why? Because we want to get out of debt as soon as possible. Okay, you've paid off your debt now. Next step, baby step number 3, is to save 3 to 6 months of expenses on your emergency fund, okay? Now, make sure you are doing the math for expenses. You should know how much money it costs you to live every single month. If you're not doing a budget, I recommend that you check the description box, because I have a tool that I created for my financial coaching clients. I call it the budget pad, and it's free for you. You can sign up and download it. It's going to walk you step by step on the process on how to put a budget together. You really need to get on a budget. If you are not on a budget, the money that's coming in is just gonna keep going out without any control. So Your foundation always to win with money is to be on a budget. Make sure you're downloading a copy of the budget pad and following the instructions so that you are on a budget every single month. So when you do your budget, you are going to figure out what's your monthly cost of living. What does it take? How much money does it take for you if you're single, or for your family if you're married, to live on every single month? Once you figure out that amount, you want to multiply it by 3 or 6. I recommend that you save 6 months. Why? Because like I said earlier, when we went through the recession, we didn't have enough money in savings. And our lifestyle, even though we cut everything we could, we had too much money going out and not enough coming in. So my recommendation for you is that you strive for saving up to 6 months of expenses for your emergency fund. And like the name, it is an emergency fund. This is not money you're gonna be using to go on vacation or to buy stuff or just to buy a new TV or to do Christmas with, okay? This is money you are only going to use in case you lose your income, in case you get laid off from work, in case that you have an illness and you cannot go to work. That's why we have an emergency fund. Baby step number 4, now you're out of debt and you have a nice chunk of money in the bank, safe and sound in case that the worst happens. So your next step, baby step number 4, is to start investing 15% of your income towards retirement. Most likely you can do it on your 401k, and then you can also explore other options to do it outside of your 401k. Maybe your work doesn't offer a 401k, or there's a cap on how much you can put towards your investments there. You can always look for the help of a financial advisor that can guide you through the process of investing 15% of your income for retirement. Again, this is money that's not going to be there for you to go on vacation or buy a newer house or use it as a down payment on a house. No, this is money you're putting away for retirement only. Okay? Check that baby step number 4. We're moving on towards baby step number 5. That is putting money aside for your kids' college. My recommendation is that you look into investment opportunities for college savings. There are 529 plans that you can start investing when you're ready. That's going to allow that money to grow and be used to pay for tuition expenses, okay? So that's a great way to save money. If your kid is about to start college, say they are a sophomore or junior in high school, maybe a 529 is not the right weight for you. But you can start saving money in a savings account that you can use for college expenses. So that's your baby step number 5. Baby step number 6 is to pay off your house. If you have a mortgage, hopefully you got a 15-year loan or less, but if you have a 30-year loan, you don't want to just, keep paying every single month for 30 years. No, what we want to do is get out of debt. The faster you pay off your mortgage, the more money you're going to save in interest. So baby step number 6 is to try to put any extra money you can towards the balance on your mortgage so that you can become 100% debt-free. Let's put a check mark over that baby step number 6, and that takes us to baby step number 7. That is to build wealth and be outrageously generous. Imagine that you paid off everything, including the house. You are 100% debt-free. What would you do with all the money that's coming in? Well, you can use some of that money to enjoy it. You can use some of that money to build more wealth. And why not? You can use some of your income to be generous and to make a positive contribution in the lives of others. And those, my friends, are Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps to become wealthy. If you want to know every detail about the baby steps, I totally recommend that you get a copy of The Total Money Makeover. This is Dave Ramsey's best-selling book. He talks about the baby steps in this book, and I totally recommend that you get yourself a copy, highlight it, find a lot of inspiration with the success stories that he's sharing on this book. This is one of those books that if you want to win with money, you have to read yesterday, okay? So go get you a copy. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to keep learning about how to improve your financial wellness, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so that you know the next time that I drop a new video. Also, make sure to join my private Facebook community. You can check the description box for the link, because I understand that if you're trying to get out of debt and if you're trying to improve your finances, and the people around you tell you that it's impossible to live debt-free and that you always have to hire a car payment and that credit cards are the way to do life, it's going to be really hard for you to stay on track. But you can join my Facebook community, where you're going to find other people who believe that becoming debt-free is just a better way of life. I'll be there answering questions, sharing success stories, and why not? Maybe yours can be next. Thank you so much for watching.